Women are mad that men aren't hitting on them anymore, apparently. Alteori. We'll just jump in. Also, we have Asmongold here. And this woman is not wearing a bra, I think.
Tell me why.
We'll just jump in. I think it's just a combination of men not knowing what to do, young men, because they don't have any role models. It's men being told to not do it at all. It's also because everyone, and I'm gonna say this is just, again, I'm just having a theory here. People don't look approachable anymore. Like, I don't want to approach somebody who has headphones in. Like, you see, like, a person you do want to talk to, right? Even, just, like, where you have to, right? School, college, whatever, right? You look at a person, and you do want to talk to them, but you won't, because they have headphones in, and you don't want to be a nuisance. I think people are also less approachable nowadays than they originally were once. Just my opinion.
Every day I go out, looking adorable, tits bouncing, skin glistening, and yet nobody ever hits on me or approaches me. Oh my god, like, please.
So, again, we have to consider this. The women saying, "Do not approach me," are oftentimes also women. They are the loud minority, right? I think the vast majority of women wouldn't lose their mind if you were carefully approaching them, being nice, being respectful, right? I don't think most women would crash out. But if you find a woman like that crashes out, I think it could be that could be terrible. Sometimes I'm glad that I live in the middle of nowhere because I can't flirt with women, no girls, and they'll flirt back. They're more thirsty, let me tell you. I'm just glad that I'd never have to go back. I hopefully never have to go back into the dating scene. I'm just glad. I was raised in a way where I am not fit to approach women. I'm not generally, like, I was raised to, like, old-fashioned. Like, fairly old-fashioned. That doesn't work. I've realized that just doesn't work anymore.
Like, legitimately, how did we get...
Oh, it's a lady. That's cool. Also using the Broly with the coffee mug. Based. So based.
Here? How did we get here? I swear these posts have to be freaking rage bait, because with everybody existing on the internet now, there is no way that you make posts like this and not know what the hell's going on. I mean, I'm the queen of not knowing what's going on, so that's possible. But seriously, now I don't blame people when they say that us women don't know what we want. For so many years...
But you don't! I'm gonna be honest, you don't! Most women don't know what they want. You say not one thing and then want another. You say communication is key, but then you get mad when we ask you, do you want something? No, I'm good. Then you get something for yourself, and then you're mad. What is this? Why are we doing this? If you don't mind me asking, but how did you meet your girlfriend? Simple. She was watching me since like July 23rd. On YouTube last year, and then I complained a lot around March, and then she just literally DM'd me and asked me, "You need a girlfriend?" And that's how it happened. Chat, get yourself a parasocial woman.
Like the past 10 to 15 years, men have been told that they are disgusting, and the male gaze is terrible, and that something as basic and instinctual as finding a member of the opposite sex attractive is somehow demonic and wrong against women. But yet, women can do it, but men are not allowed to do it back, which is what really, really got me. And even though I was dating at the time, now I'm married, I was thinking to myself, man, you know, if I were still out there and single, I would be very upset because you have these small, insecure...
But it's true. But it's very true. We were just told not just to stay away. So now we do that, but that's also not the thing that we're supposed to do.
broken women trying to dictate how the rest of us women feel, and it would be very awkward for me not having guys come up to me because they're terrified of being called a creep. And I've always been approached by men, and most women can probably attest to the same thing. They usually have men approaching them. So now you have these women out here trying to say that men are creepy for doing what they want men to do. They don't want men to approach them in reality, but yet a lot of them have Instagram and all these other social media platforms where they still want the male attention.
Yeah, it's also that it just doesn't work, right? Don't want men to approach, but you want men to approach. It's just weird. So women should approach, right? Logically, if you don't want men to approach. But women don't approach. Women's approach to showing a sign is glancing at you for like a fraction of a millisecond and be like, oh yeah, that's I'm shooting my shot. Can't just do that. Oh, so Frog got more game than you. Well, she was arguing with me for a week for like hours on end. Like she was arguing for me for like one day was like 9 hours straight. Crazy. Stalk a girlfriend. Maybe. Possibly. Hyper-parasocial, maybe.
Because I promise you the majority of it isn't coming from women. And they don't have any problem with that. But yet, you see what I'm saying? Like, you're always contradicting yourself with these people. And then the small amount of vocal people out there make it worse for absolutely everybody else. And now we have women finally complaining why men need to step up. No, you need to step up and stop being idiots and decide what it is exactly that you want. Or when other women are speaking for you and you don't agree with them, call them out and say, you don't speak for the rest of us. Stop it. You're ruining things for the rest of us. Just because you have broken brain casing and daddy issues doesn't mean the
brain casing. Daddy issues. I'm gonna say this. No father and bad relationships with your father can be the worst thing for a boy or girl. Straight up. I think that's the most damaging thing ever. Let's hope she isn't a yandere girlfriend. I mean, she has guns.
Rest of us have them. The rest of us are okay with men coming up to us respectfully and asking us out or telling us that we're beautiful. It's not that serious. And if you're in a situation...
Just get the paper bag. Some of you still would.
Where you can't exist around other human beings, even though I know that there's issues out there. If you have a...
What the? Why are you putting that in here?
Where you can't exist around other human beings, even though I...
Call of Duty. Baby lotion. Why? Why are we doing this? Woman attractive, men always welcome to approach our red flags. Kinda.
I know that there's issues out there. If you haven't learned to handle your issues, then you should stay inside or go get therapy.
Pay attention to me tonight. I'm so fucking sick of this shit. Buy a drink. I mean, it's like very fucking simple.
And stealing Finance Bros salads. And then looking their name up from the salad order on LinkedIn, messaging them through there and being like, hey, oh my god, so sorry, grabbed your salad. And that's how they're like sliding in. Why can't they just come up to us at a bar? Like, just please step up or your salad's gonna fucking...
They're gonna use LinkedIn to slide into women's DMs? Okay, homies, maybe we do need to step up. What is this? Just use Instagram, bro. Just use Instagram, Facebook, but not LinkedIn. How are we using LinkedIn to date? What even?
Get taken, your lunch is...
Wow, so you stalk people and steal their stuff for attention, but yet if the same dudes were to come up to you in a bar or do something like that and approach you, you would call them creepy. Men can't even exist at men's spaces without women coming in and saying, we want that space. And it's bad enough that...
It's like this, right? You have a men's space. I don't know. For example, oh, what's a men's space? Any shooter. Let's say Call of Duty, right? Let's just say Call of Duty. Then you have women barging in, saying that we want to be part of this. And they want to change what it was, right? They would want to change Call of Duty to fit them. which not only alienates the men playing the game, but also the women enjoying it for what it is. So we get pushed out. And we get told to make your own space eventually. So we go do that. And the cycle repeats. You can't have your own space because other people will barge in, try to change it so they can be part of it. But here's a hot take. You don't need to be part of everything. Some things are not made for you. If people cry, Souls games should have a difficulty mode. Souls games should have, you know, they should be, you should be able to make them easier. No, you don't. You can't play them. Fun fact, they're not made for you. Go play something else. I can't play Souls games. I don't particularly like them. I played Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 3. I didn't particularly like them. I beat them, but I didn't particularly like them. They are just not for me, so I will move on. I don't like shooters. Call of Duty, Battlefield, and whatever there is, they don't need to accommodate my feelings. I will just not play them. Simple. Not everything is made for you, and that's okay. You can do something else. We're trying to apply for the girlfriend job in LinkedIn. Yeah, get the girlfriend, the boyfriend. I'm gonna get the boyfriend job. Male housewife.
You have, it's bad enough that you have men trying to exist at the gym, they're working out, and you're like, oh, you're staring at me, even though you literally go in their line of sight and you have a camera there to then stare at them and show them to the rest of the world when they're not even looking at you. And then, when they mind their business and don't help you, you get upset. Like, I'm a woman and I'm—
Fun fact, a guy was kicked out. A guy was kicked out, right? From the gym for staring at a woman. The problem was that the guy was blind. He was blind. He can't stare. Well, he does stare. He does constantly stare because he can't see. He's blind. And the blame was put on him. Even though he didn't do anything, he was marked as a creep. Even though that man is blind. He can't see your booty. Because he's blind. He doesn't just get suddenly enlightened by seeing your ass cheeks. Did you play Code Vein? It's Dark Souls anime. I didn't play it, but I have seen like a Let's Play of it. Try Valor, bro. Shit, it's fire. I don't know about that one. Isn't that a lot of e-girls on there?
I'm getting frustrated by these weirdos. Like, make up your mind what you want. People are going out there and ruining people's reputations unwarrantedly, and you're also going out there and making a fool of yourself because you can't be that brain dead when it comes to the internet to not know what has been going on for the past 10 years. Like, dudes can literally go to jail if a woman just tells someone, oh, he did something to me, with no—
As far as I'm correct, as far as I know, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the United States, I know in other countries, I don't even know how it is for Germany, but in the United States, which this is mostly about, right? As far as I'm aware, SA, is it SA or harassment? I don't know. One of these two is so fucked because you don't need to provide any proof for that, by the way.
evidence required whatsoever. So you can't really blame guys for doing exactly what you've been telling them to do, which is to stay away from you. It's also possible that your energy is probably off and they can tell that you're crazy from a mile away. That could also be it.
A foxu is so cute. If it is a foxu, it's so cute. I want to pet it.
What is everyone with the fit today?
That's great. That's why.
Every day, it's really getting old. Like, come on, it's not even funny. It is funny because you come here every day with a plan, make an outfit like mine.
At first, it sounded empowering. I don't dress for men. I don't need their attention. I like being unapproachable. But then women started admitting that.
Yes, you don't need dress for other people. Every single time. But I'm gonna say it, whether you're a man or you're a woman, you do dress if you go out. Also for others, you want to be perceived a certain way. You want to be perceived as attractive. It may not be strangers, but it may be your friends, the women that you go out with, the guys that you go out with. Let's stop lying and telling us that we dress well only for ourselves. That women put up makeup only for themselves. That men hit the gym only for themselves. Let's get that lie just out of there. That is just not the truth. It just isn't. That would if I would dress for myself, then I just could go out in my pajamas into a restaurant and nobody would give a rat's ass about it. Let's be honest, that is just not the truth.
Men don't approach them anymore. They feel intimidating or they feel invisible. Now we're in this weird middle ground where women would rather swallow jeans than hear a man's opinion.
So as Janae's video says, we escaped the male gaze and somehow it backfired. What I find hilarious is that did nobody else figure this would happen? Did nobody else see this was a pattern that was going to form? Like, I peeped it right away when it happened, and other girls and other men said the same thing when all of this was starting with the whole man versus bear thing, and they were all saying, oh, it's gonna get to the point where they're gonna start complaining, don't look at us, oh no, why won't you look at us? Like, it's so annoying. And at this point, I think that men, including my brothers and the men in my family, should just stick to your guns and just ignore women. Ignore them. Make them chase you. Because we were living in an easy mode for all this time. And then on top of that, you want to...
Yep. When it comes to dating, women live in easy mode. That is just the truth. When it comes to dating, so what the fuck are Western girls thinking these days? You call that thinking? Like, I can tell you a major percentage of SA and SH can be put on males without proof in America. It happened to me last year. Almost lost my job over it. That is crazy. I think that's absurd that you don't need to provide any proof. I think that's insane for such a serious crime.
Punish men for not even doing anything wrong. Like, I know there's creepy people out there. Trust me, I understand. But even in the situations where they post these videos on TikTok of women saying, oh, he's being creep, they're literally not doing anything. It's kind of like the same argument that people make for the whole entertainment sphere when they say, well, if you don't like something, don't watch it. Okay. And then when we don't watch it, they come back and wonder in shock and awe why no one's watching.
Exactly. Remember the Acolyte, right? Star Wars or what was it? She-Hulk. If you don't like it, don't watch it. Well, kaboom. Both shows are no more.
What they told people not to watch. Like, it's almost like if you have, if you do an action, it gets a reaction. And you not expecting the reaction to happen when you become the catalyst for that reaction means you're insane. It means that you're either really stupid or you're insane. One of those things, both of those things are bad.
Like, I'm setting it all up for him. Like, he doesn't have to figure anything out. He says Stone Street. Like, I'm supposed to know what that is. So now I have to go Google. Cute. I think I've been there. What's your schedule? Like, I can't even get the decency of a full sentence. Schedule's insane. Work crazy hours. Cool. You're really making me work for this. What every girl dreams for. I'm done with men.
And from the looks of it, they're done with you too. Like, these people have to learn. Like, I know it's not that complicated.
I'm saying this straight up, women have no game. They have no negative game. Most women have negative game. I have to say this, bro. You can clearly tell that the dude has no interest. 1 word replies, 3 word replies. You're writing essays. Meanwhile, bro is writing like an out of business notice. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, you can tell bro has no interest. And if somebody has no interest, you just say, okay, bro. That's okay. You just asked, are you even interested? No? You move on.
Complicated. People think that it is. But the whole Me Too thing became overkill because they were just saying, well, believe all women. And even when women lie, because they're humans, we're humans too. We lie, we cheat, we steal. Like, that's just part of being mankind, especially if you don't have a good upbringing. I mean, I don't know why this is so hard to believe and why it was so shocking that a lot of women use this as means to scorn men or go after men and ruin their lives, even when the men didn't do anything, even when they were innocent. It got to the point where...
And if there does something happen, it's like, how could that be? If something actually genuinely does happen, right? A guy gets raped by a woman, it's like, oh, I wish that was me by men, right? Which is absolutely retarded, by the way. Get the fuck out of here. You're cooked. How could a woman do that to a man? That's not possible. Or if you got hard, you must have liked it. It's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing? What the heck are we actually doing? They shot themselves in the foot in confusion. They did. And now they're paying the price, which is, I don't want to sound red pillish, but boxed wine and cats.
Every expression of male interest was then deemed as harassment, and not every man trying to initiate a connection is creepy, and these women, or these fatherless people, did not have the understanding, the basic understanding or instinct to recognize that. A lot of men, especially the decent and really respectful ones, started backing off because they're like, well, first of all, I don't want to get fired from my job. I don't want to get dragged on TikTok. I don't want to go to jail. Why try talking to a woman if you might get accused of being predatory? Why risk your reputation or
I remember when Ninja said, which is a big content creator, said he does not want to be alone with a woman. He's like only with his wife, and that's pretty much it. Because there's a lot of clout chasers out there that would abuse and use that. Or work in a job that caters to children, and someone falsely accused my clip on furry tail as a butt plug, saying I was showing it children. I was absolutely horrified. I was able to prove them wrong. That's crazy. That is crazy. That is insane. That is insane. Wild.
confrontation or even rejection when the cultural vibe is now, men, sit down and shut up unless we give you explicit permission. A man can't even talk about his preferences. Women can say up and down how they want men over 7 feet tall with making freaking 700 figures, but men cannot do the same and say, hey, I want a woman.
Yep, that's a double standard, right? When a woman makes has standards like, yes, go queen, get what you want, right? And when a man has standard, it's like he's a piece of shit and a misogynist, which is like, okay, interesting double standard. So if I can't have any standards, why should I even date?
Who was fit and pretty and who was nice to me. They can't say that without people jumping down their throats and trying to chest burst them.
Last night, they tried to shame me last night on Ruslan's show for having preferences. Ladies, do you have preferences? Do you want a guy taller than you? If you want a guy taller than you, then you exclude all the guys shorter than you. You want a guy that's making more money than you? Then you're excluding men that make the same or less.
For this standard, I have to say, and women, you just gotta throw that out of your system. That doesn't work. Men and women, most of the time now make just as much. And finding a guy that makes more than you will be very, very unlikely, and it'll get more unlikely the longer time proceeds, because, you know, that is what you wanted, right? At the end of the day, you wanted equal pay. You got that equal pay. Sometimes you even, in some areas like New York, you now will have more pay. Throw it out of the system. In times where you have to pay as much as you do, that just doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry. The providing part is out of the window. It's been out of the window for years. Give up on that dream.
You want a guy, a certain skin type, color, race, nationality, whatever. That excludes all the dudes that don't match that criteria.
Didn't they have like a ranking system where like dudes were just going up to women, just asking them what they wanted, and then they had like a cat system from like 0 to 5 cats on the chances of how the chens are if you find the type of guy that you want. And you have like women out there who at like 19, 20 wanting a dude in their age range that has like the stuff that not even most 40-year-old men have. Girls, you gotta lower your standards. We cannot keep up with this, not in this economy.
So you do have preferences. So when a guy has preferences, It's an ism.
Women are more than qualified enough to talk about masculine energy because women who are feminine are attracted to men who are masculine. But I guess my question is, when women talk about wanting a guy who can take the lead, who's confident, who can pay, who can provide, who can do all these great things in a relationship, that's okay. But when a man talks about what he thinks femininity is, or when he talks about what he desires in a relationship or a traditional relationship, he's met with a lot of hatred and contempt on the internet.
Also, the question of what do you bring to the table is not viable. It is only viable, and only then, when you're demanding. You're demanding this, and then of course I'm gonna ask, what do you do? What do you do? What do you add aside from sex? Like, and that isn't even viable for me. So essentially, the average woman doesn't give me anything nowadays. Sure, I put it well. Even a woman put it well. Nope. Never did we demand so much and provided so little. When warning, wait. That's soon you'll have to provide and buy a house for a man. I don't think feminists wanted that reality. Well, they're getting it now, though. They're getting the reality where they have to also provide. They didn't like that. They wanted all the good with none of the bad. Which is so silly.
I'm genuinely curious, like, what is a man allowed to exercise as his preference in women without getting shamed or degraded for saying something like that?
And the other thing I've noticed, and trust me, I've been around enough women, I've seen it, I've heard them talking behind closed doors, I know how they think. A lot of them have a problem with being submissive. They'll say, oh, I want this, and they'll read the books, and oh, I wish men were more assertive, but then when they are, you call the cops on them. Or, you know, you ruin their reputation. You say you want one thing, but then you don't allow the men to just lead. You say you want them to be good fathers, but when the fathers exercise discipline, you undermine them in front of the children.
Tell you that you were so beautiful and I would love to get your number to take you out. And my instant reaction was, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I have a boyfriend. Which is not true. I don't know why I said that. I'm actually kicking myself for saying I do not.
Wait, am I retarded?
Fathers, but when the fathers exercise discipline, you undermine them in front of the children.
Tell you that you were so beautiful and I would love to get your number to take you out. And my instant reaction was, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I have a boyfriend. Which is not true. I don't know why I said that.
So a guy asked you out and like hit you up, and your instant reaction is, I have a boyfriend, which you didn't mean to say. Are these younger women just brainwashed? Is that what it is? My standards for a wife is 15k USD, it's monthly salary, 175 centimeters height and above, huge racks, and humongous cake. Please don't ask me about my salary, my height, and my PP size, thank you. Similar, like that standard just does not work IRL. It doesn't. It doesn't. I think many women nowadays want a feminine man. That would be interesting. That would be an interesting idea. There's just a slight problem. They don't. They don't. You can feel like that, but they don't. Yes, you know? That would mean, if they really wanted more feminine men, that would be some interesting view, which means femboys, straight femboys, would actually be in relationships. Too bad most of them aren't. I think most women do want a masculine man. It's just that they have been societally brainwashed to reject that because they were told it's wrong. I think men are genuinely attracted to femininity, while women are generally attracted to masculinity. I think that is from what I can tell and what I've observed.
I'm actually kicking myself for saying I do not have a boyfriend.
And men have been raised and taught to kind of reject their masculinity in a way. Like self-hating and stuff. It's weird.
I'm not talking to anyone, but my instant reaction, because no one's ever done that to me before, I froze and was like, I'm so sorry, I have a boyfriend. And he's like, oh, that's really sad, but you never know if you don't try. And I'm like, yeah, I really admire you for coming up and talking, thank you so much, have a beautiful day. And he's like, you too, miss, all the best. Why did I tell him I had a boyfriend when I don't? Ugh. This is why I'm single. This is why I'm single.
I told my husband about this too, and I have a thing in my relationships, and I know this is not speaking for everybody else, everyone is different, but in my relationship, I share everything with my husband. Even my other relationships. All I want is, hey, honesty. The both of us have each other's back, we trust each other with our lives, we should be honest about everything, we shouldn't judge each other for our things, you know what I mean? So we know everything about each other, even the really weird things that probably other people wouldn't.
I know weird things. She knows weird things. We both know weird things. It's just normal. It's just normal. Yeah, I think we don't really have that anymore. We don't really have that where like people know the in and outs of each other, the good, the bad, the weird. Cause like it's such a taboo to like know everything about each other. It's just like privacy. I want my privacy. Dude, you're in a relationship. What do you mean privacy? There is no much privacy. You want to share a life with this person eventually. What do you mean?
No, that's part of trust. And I expect that from my partner, and he expects that from me. One of the things that I do is I always tell my husband where I am. Like, if I'm going somewhere, you know, if he doesn't feel comfortable with me going somewhere because he feels like it's unsafe, I won't go there. I won't be like, you're trying to control me and all that shit that people do. If I say, hey, can I have this as, you know, like the chocolate or whatever it is, and we have a certain budget for things, and he says no, I listen to him. I personally like being submissive. I like someone who can take control. And
Interesting to hear that perspective for once in a while. I just feel like this goes for like both sides, right? This just goes for both sides, I think. Like, if Frog tells me to not wear something because it looks silly where we're going, she doesn't even have to finish the sentence and I'm already trying to pick out something else. Vice versa, it's just the same. Or like I think we should go there. That's kind of not a good idea, right? We just like, okay, we don't do that. I don't know. Remember, fellas, a good relationship is transparent. Yep, I agree. Compromise and acceptance. Very true. Kids, fellas, you have to compromise in relationships. You just have to. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just have to. Sacrifice is important sometimes. I hope you like spiders. Oh, you have a spider video? Oh, goodness.
Legit was in a store, and the woman waited till he walked away. And this has happened several times with other women telling me this. I know they probably mean well, but they literally were like, oh, you know, you could just take it anyway. And I said, no, that would be dishonest. And she's like, girl, you have a lot to learn. And then there was another situation where I was out with these other women that I met.
Also have to say this. If you involve yourself in another person's relationship, you are retarded. And I don't get how people let third parties sneak their way and like rot their way into their own relationship, where I'm like, this has happened to me. This will never happen again. The moment I see a red flag on a person, when they try to like weasel their way into like my relationship, I will kick them out immediately. I am no longer dealing with this. It doesn't matter whether it's family, friends, whatever it is, right? No more. I'm done. This is stupid. Stop keeping out of people's relationship. I told this before, another anecdote where a chick uploaded a TikTok video, right? And she was crashing out saying that men want to kill us. You know how she got that? How she got that? You know how that happened, right? She tried to weasel away her way into another relationship, putting the dude on blast, shitting on the dude, and the dude said, "If you don't stop, I'm gonna throw you in the pool, or I'm gonna kick you." And she was then like completely crashing out, even though she tried to infiltrate two people's relationship. Which, yeah, you shouldn't get violent, but at the same time, I can't understand if Rat tries to do rat things. I think most women are scared to be submissive because of how toxic they think it is. Yeah, yeah. But I also think that I genuinely think that if most women would have the chance of being a wife or working a corporate job to the end of their life, they would probably prefer the first one. Yeah, we both have a lot of affinity to recognize a route to TR. Yeah. And it's always like, I love when people use this like, you're insecure. It's not insecurity. It's not I'm insecure. It's, I have played these games before. It's, I have seen this behavioral pattern before. I know where this is going. I have seen this before. So people can't come, oh, you're just insecure. No, I have seen this before. I recognize this behavior.
Don't even know them. And it had been like an hour. I was walking the dog and I met these people, and these women were basically telling me their life story. So I told them, hold on, it's been quite a bit of time. I don't want my husband to worry. Let me call him and let him know where I am. And then they went on to say, well, you know, sometimes women need a bit of mystery and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to tell him absolutely everything. Do you tell him absolutely everything? I said, yes. And they literally looked at me and smiled and shook their head and said, girl, you have a lot to learn. One of them said
that. What are we doing? What are we doing? Yes, you don't want to worry your partner. This is the exact behavior that causes troubles in relationships. Behaving in a way that is unusual, that doesn't make sense, is illogical. If I always tell my partner where I am, and then suddenly I stop, that's weird. I wouldn't notice that. That's weird. And that's what strains a relationship. Also, not insecure, just loving. If you think it's insecurity, time to leave. I just think that most of it is not insecurity, but most of people just have pattern recognition. They realize that something is off. I immediately notice when something will be off. I just pay attention a lot. This is why you should always keep your relationship between yourself and your partner. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I don't tell people that much what's really going on. I don't do that.
girl, you have a lot to learn. As if
And I mean, people IRL, mostly.
There's this unspoken rule that women are supposed to hide things from their partner, even when they're out there flirting with other guys and they're in relationships and they expect me to do the same thing. And I say, nah, I'm not going to do that. And they get all weird and ask why I'm like that with a dude and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you wouldn't like your dude doing that. You would probably lose your shit if he was out there doing that with his boys. So why?
Yeah, but then they would pull the card. Well, that's different. Like they always do.
Why would you do the same thing that you don't expect of him or you don't want him to do? And then I get dragged for it. Not in real life. In real life, they're really respectful, but on the internet especially, oh, they will quickly drag you. But if the man does the same thing, something's wrong with him. He's sexist. He's misogynist. As a matter of fact, you know how many times I've been attacked just for talking about stuff like this? And girls call me misogynistic or having internalized misogyny, or a man is somehow controlling me. Because God forbid I'm a woman who has her own thought process and might not agree with what you're saying. Which I find rich, because isn't that stepping on women and punching down on them by thinking that they can't have their own?
No. You have to realize something. Feminism is... basically, this comes down to the feminist idea that a woman can do what she wants. As long as it doesn't go against the ideology. That's pretty much what it is. Women have the choice to do whatever they want. But if they choose to be a housewife, they're oppressed. If they choose to be a mother, they're oppressed. If they're not career hungry, if they're not going after career, they're oppressed. And they have internalized misogyny. That is the problem. They don't want you to use your brain. They just want you to follow the hive mind. Funny how experience shaped one's cognitive skills. Unfortunately, Western women wouldn't get the signal While things are flipping out sideways now. This has been for years like this. This has weirdly started in like 2015 to 2016, where it really got weird.
Mindset, and if they do contrary to what you want them to do, something is wrong with them. It's so weird because women will be the ones doing that to other women, which is crazy to me. There's this new thing now that if you are a woman who speaks up about stuff like this, like me, you're labeled a pick-me, which is so weird.
Yeah, a pick-me, like I said again, internalized misogyny, that kind of stuff, right? That kind of stuff. I always find it funny when people put like pick me, and then you look at the woman they're calling a pick me. That woman has already been picked. Pick me, yet that woman is in a happy relationship and may possibly even marriage. But guess who's single? The one calling him pick me. Because I wonder, is it that she says it because she's a pick me, or is it that you go against her because you're the pick me? Because you want to be picked by all your peers? And if a woman is covered, they're oppressed. Like, what is this? It's like, no, they're not. A woman dressing modestly is not oppressed. I never got this. I never got this.
Because first of all, why would you not want to be picked? A man wants to be picked by a woman wants to be picked by a man if they're interested in that relationship. So I don't even know how that became a derogatory situation. And second of all, I'm married. Are you projecting? Like, what is it about what I'm saying is so negative to you? Me just simply saying, hey, you have preferences, men have preferences. You don't like this, men don't like this. Why are they then, women who speak up about this, labeled as pick-me's or insulted by other women for simply addressing the very real fact that all humans have preferences and all humans have feelings? Make it make sense.
A woman can ruin your reputation, render you unemployable, and land you in jail. The difference between a welcome approach and harassment is how desirable the woman finds you.
So honestly, I don't give a damn. I don't feel sorry for any of these women that are crying for attention.
True, I don't either, but yeah. Yeah, it is true. The line between creepy and getting a date is, are you attractive? And we need to get that out of, the women need to get that out of the system, that just because somebody isn't particularly attractive doesn't mean they're creepy and they want to drag you into an alley. Like, calm down. Whatever you want within those rules only. Exactly. It's just within those rules. Other than that, you don't fit in. You're a weirdo. Like, I follow a woman on TikTok that is very much a what's the word? Very much like traditional, right? She wants to be a homemaker, a housewife, a mother, right? Like, very much. And she got shit on. She's 21 years old. She's gonna be married at 22, which is really cool for her, right? But it's like, it's just rough. It is just rough. She gets like comments daily on like, oh, this isn't feminist and stuff. Well, she's making her own choice. That is very feminist, actually. Dom women should be with sub men. Yep. But even dom women want more dominant men, so that doesn't work either. It just doesn't. It's just, if you're submitting as a man, you're just not attractive to most women. This just doesn't happen. And there's an ideology that aims to liberate women. Rules and terms applies. I don't think it's much liberation that much. Because if you are really allowed to act a certain way and behave a certain way, are you really free?
Because one of the things that happens with women that exist on social media like this is they thirst for attention. And the minute you take that away, it's a problem. Men, stand to your guns. Women, if you really care about men and you want them so much, just understand that this is the environment that you and your sisters created, and you're just going to have to deal with it. If something happened to my husband, or we split up, or whatever the case is, I would have to deal with the fact that, guys are not comfortable with approaching women anymore. Doesn't matter how pretty you are, how much you think that men should just fall at your feet. You have now created the very real environment in which you have changed the game for yourself. You've made it backfire, and now you just have to approach guys. It is what it is. Don't be mad. You weren't calling out your sisters. when they were doing all of this stuff. As a matter of fact, a lot of these women were cheering other women on. Yeah, how dare he have a preference? How dare he come up and say that you're beautiful? You don't exist for his eyes. Then date your fellow women or leave men alone. Or just do what you need to do. Be strong and independent and go up there and pull up your big girl granny panties and approach the dude. It really is that simple. Like you said, you're telling...
They won't do that. They won't do that. They don't do that. They would never perceive a man valuable enough to wanting to approach him. To want to approach him. These women, nope. There is women who they want to see a guy. They want a guy. They will go up to him. They will DM him. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Like, those women do exist, but they're far and few in between. It just doesn't happen. I don't think. I think it will get actually worse before it gets better. In my opinion, this will get worse. This will get worse to a point where Me Too and all that stuff, right? It backfires so hard that men will eventually start refusing to even hire women. Like, I'd be uncomfortable. I'd probably just get, if I ever have, like, employees, right? I'll just hire dudes. I'll be real. Male artists, male secretaries, male everything. I'm not dealing with this. Nope, I will not. 22 married. Well, she got aura over every older unmarried woman. Then no wonder they criticize her. It's jealousy. That's also the case. Remember, by 2035, half of women will be single and childless, and the chances are also likely that they will be forever single and childless. Like, the chances are high that they will be childless. That means half of women will be childless. That's crazy. Like, nah, she's 22 or 23 years old with 4 children, people hate on her. It's just, like, crazy. Like, hello, she chose this way, let her choose this way. Will be back, father, when I return, then spiders. Okay, take care. Or dare you call me beautiful, Poker jail, dear? She's being creep. And probably is a disingenuous and misogynistic against me.
Them it's not hard for them to step up and ask you out, then it shouldn't be hard for you either, because we're equal, right?
It could be weight, it could be color, it could be income, it could be hair length, it could be nails, it could be whatever he wants to say.
We are not equal. We are just not. A man would date... I don't like to quote Zerka, but I have to quote Zerka here. A man would pick a bum McDonald's worker. A woman couldn't do that. And it's true. You rarely see a relationship where a chick picks like a dreamer. A woman picks I'm a dreamer. I'm a hopeless dreamer. I did get picked. But I have strong morals, and she loves that, and other stuff as well. But the relationships where women pick like an artist and she finances him, those are quite rare. They don't exist that often. It just doesn't happen. And I'm gonna say this: find somebody when you're young, build a future together when you're young, because then you know how it is to have nothing and to have everything. And men, don't fall into this idea that you have to have everything together before you can date. Because here's something: the women that wait at the end of the finish line will be the women that will leave you divorced. Straight up.
If whoever he's alienating with that preference, it's going to be think pieces written. He going to get bashed. Oh my God, I can't believe you would say something like that. But when women come out and say, my man got to be 6'2", my man got to be chocolate, my man got to be this. Men are not writing think pieces about that. We're not. We're not taking it that personal, especially if we didn't shoot at you directly. If I'm just scrolling and reading tweets and I just see a random chick say, "Oh, okay, she like 6'2". Okay, cool. She don't look that good to me anyway. Let me keep scrolling." That's how most men are gonna process that. Right. But women will literally stop and
True. Most men, they see women's preferences and they're like, "Okay, moving on." Okay, it depends. If you show your preferences and you degrade the people that don't fit your preferences, that will definitely cause some outrage. I'm not gonna lie, that will definitely cause some issue. But most dudes, when you're like, "Oh, I want like somebody, I want like a I don't know, I want a brown dude who's taller than me." Nobody cares. But I don't date like, but being like, I want a guy that's 6'2". And like, I don't take short men because I can't take them seriously. That's a different situation. We're not equal because we aren't meant. We're meant to understand each other, not bringing each other down because we're different. How come they didn't understand this premise? Men and women, nature-wise, we are meant to work together. We are not equal. We add to each other. We're an addition to each other. We're not meant to be the same. We aren't the same. Men and women are physically different. We have a different brain structure. Heck, women create well, with the help of men. Women nurture babies in their belly. Men can't do that. It's just like, hello, we are not the same. We are just not. We're meant to complement each other.
Whoa, who is this? She don't even know them. She don't even know them. Mm-hmm. Wait, what do you mean that you don't like women that's so 210? Like, what the fuck is it?
And the other thing I find really rich is that a lot of these women that are getting mad at men for not wanting fat women or tall women or whatever the case is, they will look at a man that doesn't fit their preference, and that man approaches them, and they're like, "Oh, get your fat ass."
To be honest, I think most men have no issue with a tall woman. And honestly, those couples are actually kind of cute. Like, you have like this short dude and then like this taller woman. Honestly, I think most men have no issue with this. I'm gonna be real, most men don't. Imagine if men could be pregnant. Hey, I'd add to the world population. I'd add to the world population. Yeah, but men will never be pregnant. A biological male will never be pregnant. Because we don't have the recipe, the tools, the kitchen, the ingredients. With everything, how modern technology we have, we will never be able. Maybe like a few thousand years if we're around, maybe. If we can like do like brain restructuring surgery, then maybe. But other than that, we won't be able to do that.
Away from me. I don't want no nasty, jiggling, fat-ass lard bucket whale of a freaking man. But yet, you yourself is a fucking whale.
That's so true, though. So true, though. Like, also, like, the difference when, like, fat woman's like, "You go, queen, so pretty." And when it's a fat dude, it's like, "Motherfucker, put a shirt on." It's crazy.
Like, what are we talking about? You don't want to settle for what you deem as disgusting and gross, but yet you look exactly the same as those men that you are rejecting, and you're trying to give that to someone way out of your league. What are you doing? What are you doing? Like, that doesn't even make sense. I don't understand it, and then it's a problem.
Yeah, it's like, I've seen these women, like, Gorlock the Destroyer cannot ask for somebody that looks like Zac Efron during Baywatch. That is just not happening. That won't be happening. I'm sorry.
Problem. So are you not being fat phobic to the men that are approaching you that are fat? You see, it only goes one way, which is why
body shaming, if you want to call it that, only goes one way. If you do it to a woman, it's wrong. If you do it to men, it's okay. Like, you know the term small dick energy? I hate that term. I hate that term. I hate it. I can't take it. Never take it seriously. I think you could get on the stage at this subject. Okay. You got good hot takes. Yeah, sure. I'm fine with tall women, not with overweight. I think most people would not want an overweight partner. Because, like, there comes a lot of issues with it, right? Health issues, and there's other stuff. Hygiene issues, right? You wouldn't want that. Not that all fat, overweight people stink, right? That's not what I'm saying. But it's more likely for that to be the case. It's more likely for them to have health issues. It's like, I think generally people want the partner that's healthy. Not overweight, not underweight. I just think tall, short, it's all the same in the bed. True. I'll take equity is better than equality, works better for men-woman relationships. I would say to a certain degree. I think even relationship-wise, equity doesn't work to a degree. I think it depends. I think I guess it can work to a certain degree. But yeah. Most women hate on thin women, but support obese women. That makes no sense to me. Oh, here's a fun fact that they have pulled out of statistics as far as I'm aware. Men prefer women with a higher body fat percentage. While women like to look like... There's a difference between, like, girl pretty and man pretty. Man pretty overall is women with a higher body fat percentage. Straight up. So... women are actively lying when they say that men prefer thin women. That is just not true. Men prefer women with a higher body fat percentage. Not overweight, just a higher body fat percentage. While women, girls pretty, is being thin. Girls pretty is the women that we see now. Those really thin women. That is like Victoria's Secret and that stuff. Really funny.
People don't respect people like this. And that's why things are the way they are. But I do think it's mostly because of the whole, I could go to jail kind of situation that's happening. Honestly, if I was a dude and this was the current environment, still in this current environment, I wouldn't want to have anything to do with women. I would just sit and beat my meat all day because it's more safe that way. Because it's a 50-50 whether or not the woman is crazy. And let's say you do reject her. Let's say she vibes with you and you reject her. And you're like, I don't really want to be with this person. It is what it is. I'll just move on. This isn't working. She keys your car. She calls the cops. She says you hit her. Everyone just believes her. You go to jail. You can't, like, how? That's a hell of a risk to take for a dude. I would just stay by.
I mean, I'm gonna get shot. I'm gonna get shot if anything happens. I like my girls with extra cakes, alright? And you are completely normal. Fun fact, you are completely normal. You are actually fully normal. Okay, I do like them bringing the whole bakery. My monkey brain just works that like that. You are totally a healthy man. Totally. You are totally normal. Because that is pretty much what the average man prefers, which is voluptuous, not overweight, voluptuous. Like just a higher body fat percentage than what we have like in like those models and stuff. Admit the health issue isn't my problem with fat. I just is attracted to them. I think also that maybe not consciously but unconsciously we reject that because it just shows bad habits and health issues. I think maybe not direct. You're not directly looking at somebody. I don't want to date them because of the health issues, but like biologically, you're probably acting on that way, which is also why you find it unattractive. My God, I'm a normal man. Shocking, I know.
Myself, especially because I'm an introvert. Oh, fuck that noise. So I completely understand where men are coming from. Women, you need to step up and we need to change the environment. I think it is starting to change now. Women are realizing this, but I still see more than the average women online, at least, villainizing men for having preferences. And when women act like this, you'll have men cheating videos. Oh my God, look at what he did. Horrible, right? Understandably. Cheating is wrong.
When women cheat, and this is what is really fucked, right? This is fucked up. When women cheat, it's still the man's fault for cheating. How is that possible? How can we sit here and give the man the fault for cheating? How is that possible? It's always like, oh, he just didn't give you what you needed. You're like, he probably didn't treat you well. But what if he did? I just hate I just hate that. I just do. I just do. Cheating is wrong no matter who does it. I don't care. If you cheat, you deserve to end up on a list. So that no man or woman ever touches you again. I'm gonna be straight up honest. You deserve to put on a name with your first name and surname, and everyone can look you up. Straight up, I don't care. Gotta balance it out with watching furry stuff and feed stuff. Oh, you're a feeder. Alrighty then. Alrighty then, bro. Sure, sure, buddy. Bro's highlight is when he gets a foot job.
Woman does it and she's going crazy and blocking his car, but you don't know what he did to make her do that. Like, what in the world? Ooh, oh my, I don't know how men stay sane. I don't know how they stay sane.
We don't. We don't. We don't. Because the entire, like, being bitchless will force you into the arms of AI girlfriends and corn. We don't. We are not. We're not sane. We are not. We haven't been for a while. The boys are not doing well.
With this constant, not to mention the media. The media is also responsible, talking about how certain men are pasty and just being really racist or sexist towards men, and that's totally okay.
Or shitting on men that live with their parents. I find it odd. Again, another double standard. If a man lives with his parents, he is lazy and he doesn't get his shit together. A chick who lives with, you know, a woman, strong, independent woman, lives with her parents. Well, she's just smart. She's just saving money. In this economy, both are smart and saving money. What would I go out and pay like $800 a month for a one-bedroom apartment in a shitty city? No.
Dare the man have standards? Remember what happened to, what was that guy's name again? I think it was Jonah Hill. When he was using the word that his therapist told him. He was trying to be mature and telling his woman, yeah, it's healthy to set my boundaries and this makes me feel unsafe. Whatever he was saying about how she was acting, and women were getting upset. When women use therapists speak, yes, girl, that's right. Speak your truth. But then when he uses the exact same language that they do, oh, he's being manipulative.
I already wanted to say it that she brings it up. He's being manipulative, exactly, and controlling and stuff. Remember, fellas, if you're men, just be retarded. Women will swarm over you because you're easy to control. Wait, does that mean that if you're autistic, you're scoring bitches? Is that what I'm lacking? Saying for that noise. I hear the voices. They're getting louder daily.
Of using the therapy speak. Oh my god, bitch, shut up. Oh my god, I am so sick and tired of people like this. Good grief. Go on. If you're having a problem with getting attention, that is on you. I'm not saying that those people are specifically a result of why men are doing that, or they're one of the women that were doing that, but read the room. Read the room and understand. And just know that this is your current existence and it sucks. Deal with it. Deal with it, or go to another country and deal with that. I promise you, you probably won't like it so much because you probably won't have as many rights in that country, but everywhere you...
Men going to Asian countries to find the wife should give you an idea. That should give you an idea. And the funny part is, like, women were then like, oh, we're just gonna go, like, do the same right, go to Europe. No European wants an American woman. Almost no European. Like, if you're not a little normal, if you act like the average American woman, you will not get a European man. Because, no, they're not. We're not that different from the American boys. Just be a femboy, I guess. Well, that doesn't work. That doesn't work. Too bad that doesn't work.
You go everywhere that has these Western ideals now where they're putting down men, the same thing is happening over there. Even in Asian countries, a lot of people would be shocked to know that you still have to do the same amount of work as a woman in those countries, in certain areas, as you would have to do here, because that's just what feminism does. But anyway, that's just me. What do you guys think? Men, do you ever see yourselves getting back to a point where you would take the risk and start approaching women?
I don't take the risk anymore, but I also did get approached, so I'm pretty happy about that one. After months. Remember that viral clip of a man and a woman hugging at a concert? Everyone ignored the woman and bashed the man, even though they were both cheating on their partners. You mean the Coldplay incident, right? That one where like the couple's camera, whatever you want to call it, was just shining on that old dude and that old chick, and they were cheating and they realized what they had done. I still don't understand how people that have affairs think that they can get away with it. I just don't get it. And then they get together with their affair, and it's like, you are aware that if they did this with you, start an affair, they're also likely to start another affair when they're with you, right? That's why I don't get it when people are like, oh, my boyfriend cheated, but he would never do that to me. How do you get to that conclusion? Because people that cheat are oftentimes like they have multiple offenses, more than likely. They have done this before, or they will do it again. Because they lack impulse control. Their brain is, when people say people can change, they can only change if it's something that is not where the brain is not the issue. But people that cheat have low impulse control because their brain is wired that way, which means that they will always cheat because they can't rewire their brain.
Or has the bridge been burned to the point where women have been screaming at the ceiling that they don't want you approaching them, to the point where you're just tired or you're just over it? And women, how do you feel about this? If you're the ones that were against the male gaze, are you now pleased that you have achieved what you set out to do? Or are you one of those feeling the effects of not getting the attention that you actually want deep down inside, because that's how you're built?
Lady, I was not familiar with your game. You are incredibly based. I love this. She's cool. I like her. Here's my take. As a man, I would not want to approach, not in public at least, probably not even in DMs on social media, dating apps, whatever, right? Because the risk is just too great to end up on like blasted and like a tweet or something. That is just too scary. I'm in a relationship, so I won't be doing that anyways, but if there would ever go something wrong, I wouldn't just do that. I would just like let a woman come to me. I don't care. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And I can only speak for my girlfriend, which is, she's already Christian conservative, so that doesn't matter. She's probably a little more against feminism than even I am, which is kind of crazy. Like, she really hates that thing. She did call it an abomination before, but regardless, it's just all messed up. We're just messed up. And I think the bridge is burned, but you can rebuild bridges. And I think it will take a combined effort once women are again ready to rebuild. That is my take. It can be saved once women are willing to rebuild. That's all I can say. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe. And hit the notification bell.